If you guys like long-range e-bikes, which who doesn't like long-range e-bikes, you're gonna wanna check out the new BQi-C3 Pro. That is a heck of a name. Well, to start things off, let's see how fast the 500 watt brushless motor can go.
1 is 19, 2 is 21, and 3 is 26.
When casually pedaling, the bike was doing all the work and took me up to a top speed of 26 miles per hour. Now the bike has a cadence sensor, so the faster you pedal, the faster you go.
And then pedaling as fast as I can, there's 27.
When I increased my cadence, the bike was still doing all the work and I couldn't pedal fast enough to actually feel any resistance. And so with that faster cadence, I was able to top the bike out at 27 miles per hour. We also have a thumb throttle on the right side of the handlebars. Let me show you how fast that can go.
And that tops out at 20 miles per hour.
The throttle doesn't depend on the pedal assist level and will only top out at 20 miles per hour. And if you're pedaling and using the throttle at the same time, it still only tops out at 20 miles per hour.
If I release the throttle, that's when you can start accessing those higher speeds while pedaling. Hit the throttle again going past 20, and it actually slows the bike down slowly, even if I'm still pedaling, down to 20 miles per hour.
The power to weight ratio is off for the size of the bike of 70 pounds. I would have liked to seen a 750 watt motor rather than a 500 watt motor. It's not bad as far as speed as I just showed you, but it is very slow off the line. Both pedal assist and throttle, it takes about 15 to 20 feet for the power to really kick in.
Off the line on speed mode 3, it's a little hard to get going without using the throttle. It takes about a half a revolution for the power to come on. Then I stop pedaling, half a second for it to kick off. If I re-engage, there's just over 1 revolution before the power comes back on. And now the throttle from a standstill, just barely creeps off the line, very slow acceleration. Going around 50 miles per hour if I release it. Cuts off pretty quick, re-engage. About a slight delay, half a second delay before it comes back on. And then if I just try to maintain a certain speed, 16, 17 miles an hour, as I'm hitting these lines in the road, that throttle, the power jumps. It doesn't take a lot of movement for the power to come on. Kind of gives you that rocking the boat sensation, especially if you're on a bumpy road.
So if you like a slow and gentle start, you're gonna like this. Climbing hills with a single belt drive system is not my favorite, but the motor does produce 45 Newton meters of torque. Let's see if there's enough power to make it up a 15% grade hill.
I'm already at a probably 7-8% grade. Ooh, and it is quite difficult to pedal already. Got a full charge, pedal assist level 3. This is 2 block long, 15% grade. All right, this next half a block is the trickiest section, and I'm really having to I gotta stand up. I can't make it.
That proved to be a little too steep for the bike, so I found a smaller hill.
All right, this is take 2. This is a 10% grade. This is much more manageable. This is the trickiest part. Holding at 8. That motor's humming at me. Down to 7. Oh, I gotta help it out a little bit. Down to 4. And coming up over the top.
I was trying to let the bike do all the work, but near the very top at the steepest section, I did have to start pedaling. So I'd say for my weight, I could tackle about a 7 to 8% grade. I was surprised to see mechanical brakes, especially for the price.
As far as brakes go, right side controls the rear, left side the front. There's a nice rubber pad on the levers, which I like. More of a beefy, bigger lever. For light braking, pretty smooth, no pulsating, no grinding. And then going around 20 miles per hour on a wet road, here we go. Oh, yeah, not bad.
Stopping distance wasn't that bad. Took me 25 feet to stop from 20 miles per hour, but it does take a lot of pressure in the levers for hard braking, which is something that I see in cheaper bikes. Here's where the Pro separates itself from the crowd. concludes the range test. The bike was almost dead. The battery showed 7% battery life. And at that level, I was still hitting 20 miles per hour. Now I averaged 22 miles per hour, had a handful of stops, and had about a 50-50 split between pedaling and using straight throttle. And again, even when I was pedaling, I still wasn't feeling any resistance. The bike was doing all the work. My app recorded 36.42 miles with 546 feet of elevation gain, which is just awesome. There's been only 2 other bikes in this price range that have hit over 35 miles. Moving on to geometry, this has a rider size rating of 5'3" up to 6'1". It can carry a rider up to 278 pounds. It's more of an aggressive riding stance for a commuter, but that is with the handlebars pushed all the way down. If you have a couple Allen wrenches, you can loosen that and bring those up. And they do rotate 90 degrees.
Balance isn't that bad for being a step-through bike. If I begin to pedal, woo, little jarring there. You don't have that second bar to give it more stability, but you know, with this, you don't really need it.
Moving on to the cockpit, you have about 23-inch back swept handlebars, which is a good length for the size of the bike. It provides decent handling and control.
And then as far as the handling goes, a little bit heavier than what I was expecting, but I actually like that because it's not easy to oversteer, overturn.
Then you got nice feeling ergonomic grips. They're wing tipped, they feel nice, they're stationary. Moving back towards the saddle, it is heavily padded. It's a little bit larger for a commuter. And then you got 27.5 by 2.4-inch punch resistant road tires. I like those tires because they're nice and quiet for trail riding. This doesn't have any suspension on it, which I was kind of bummed to see. So you want to be careful taking it on rough terrain. As far as the LCD screen, top on this power button, hold that down for a couple seconds. You got a nice large color display. And one thing I failed to mention in the range is that it does pull from both batteries at the same time. If you hit that power button, that scrolls through the different readouts on the left side. Plus the minus to change the pedal assist level, 1 to 3. Hold down the plus button to turn on the headlights. Hold down the minus button for the walk assist mode. If you hold down both plus and minus, you can access the advanced settings. And I like this because everything is spelled out. There's no guessing. The first one is display units. Second one is screen brightness. Next is auto power off, then exit menu. Overall, there's some pros and cons with the BQi-C3 Pro, whatever the name is. That is one of the cons, is how long the name is. The pro, of course, is the long range, which is just awesome. I also like the belt drive system. Pretty awesome for flat terrain. For hilly terrain, not my favorites. I would have liked to have seen some type of suspension on this, and then some nicer brakes. But anyway, if you're looking for a long range e-bike, I would highly recommend this. Now, if you want to compare other bikes, I think my website may help you out. You can search all my reviews based on price and capability. As always, guys, thanks for hopping on here and checking out my content. I do appreciate that, and have a good day.